guys. Well, this last round of powwows for what you can watch on powwows.com and what's actually going on in real life. Gathering of Nations, powwow. They are about to no longer be available, unfortunately. I don't know if this is the last weekend ever, but this is the last weekend as far as the available weekends. So, in my own efforts to support, I think I'm gonna join just to be supportive. Join the current one that's going on. I don't know if it's going on through Sunday, but it's already been streaming. You can see Fridays that's already been streaming, and you can see I don't know, you can see, I don't know if there's a Sunday one. The tiers are friendsofpowwows.com, $4.99 a month, all the way to powwows.com silver, $24.99 a month. Silver, you can watch both days of the Gathering of Powwows, Gathering of Nations powwow live stream. You can get discounted 20% off merch. Live 2-day pass is $19.99. And yeah, that's for, at the moment it's for Saturday only, because there's one going on right now, and then there's another one coming up at 4 p.m., which is in 30 minutes my time. And then there's the Saturday only, which is $14.99, which I think I'll probably get that one because I've already missed Friday anyways. Part of me wants to do there's actually a gold as well for $49.99. I didn't see that. So I think I'm gonna get the tier that lets me watch Saturday, the rest of Saturday live. I don't think there's a Sunday. Fridays are already out. And, I've been watching powwows.com since the very first powwow I attended. I went to community college in an area in LA where they had El Camino College. It's a community college. I mean, I did more college than that, but that was my college experience, was going there, and we're starting there. And then from there I was able to watch a lot of powwows, and I've always found them to be pretty interesting. And so I've learned a lot over the years just from watching them. And it's not really something that I'm like the most familiar person in the world with, but I've watched a lot of them live. I've never paid for any of it, but I figure they need the money. At least that's what is the main storyline, is that the ability to pay for these events is not is what's making it so that they can't run them anymore. So because there's like an inability, I don't know if there's any other part to that, but I'm just buying it right now. Let's see if it'll let me watch what's live streaming at the moment. Then I gotta go eat. Okay, it's on now. going over, I guess, some memories of some people, some history. It's kind of low on the mic. Let me see, I've got this Bluetooth speaker that isn't connected. Let me try and connect it. My computer's all the way up. Can't really hear it.
Bluetooth mode.
Let's see. Alright. Let me go back and see if there was more musical.
At this time, good relatives, on behalf of our brother Philip Whiteman Jr., Chief Philip Jr., he wanted me to step in for him. I know he's very busy at the moment, so I know Northern Cheyenne traditional Chief Philip Whiteman comes from a long line of chiefs and horse people who are caretakers of the horse medicine songs. Upon hearing of this introduction, Chief Philip reflected on the inspiration provided by his ancestors who excelled him to his level of excellence. His grandfather, Frank Whiteman Sr., excelled as a...
So I'm going back. So this looks like it's junior boys. Junior boys traditional? And that was at the timestamp. Right now it's at 4 hours 22 minutes. That was at the timestamp negative 2 hours 54 minutes from where we're at right now. So and if I go back to live,
Hey, he loves each and every one of you, and you can do nothing about it. I hope.
let's see, let me go back.
But in closing, on behalf of my Northern Cheyenne relatives, good relatives, and Chief Philip Whiteman, he would like to say he loves each and every one of you, and you can do nothing about it.
Alright, so yeah, I'm in. So I'm glad to have been able to contribute some. I'll try and post this up for you guys, for people who are maybe interested in contributing or donating or finding out more information. You could look up a lot of the details on powwows.com. They have a YouTube channel, and they have a static website too, I believe. That's where I first started watching powwows, was after El Camino College had one, or they had it annually. They still do the annual ones. And then I had to go for class, for like a cultural class, and I got used to it and liked it a lot, actually. And like, I was already interested in it, but I was just glad that it was like available for us. And but it wasn't Gathering of Nations, it was local. And then yeah, these Gathering of Nations, bigger ones, they kind of just go on. So this is going to be the last one. That is pretty sad. And if Saturday is the last day that they're going to have a live streamed one, or I don't know if there are going to be others after Saturday, April 25th of 2026. I don't know if there will be others. I don't really know, but because I've seen Gathering of Nations on quite a bit, but I don't really know like exactly what part of the schedule falls under. But yeah, it's pretty sad if it's not going to be able to keep going on. These are the types of video content that I like to save for in case, it becomes, I mean, in a way, it is a part of history. I don't know how old these Gathering of Nations are, but I know Powwows.com has been putting out content at least since 2020, since 2003 when I came across it, because I was trying to watch more Powwow content, and at that time that was the only site I could find, and it was basically like tiles that you could click on for categories. It would be like chicken dance, and like you would have like the dances broken up by the certain events. I don't think they live streamed back then, but that was my first exposure, and I enjoyed it ever since. I've shared it with my friends. My friends are used to me sharing all kinds of stuff with them that might be a little bit off the mainstream beaten path, but I found it to be valuable. Like, I found it to be very nice, wholesome kind of events, and very they're nice to hear different groups of people speaking out about what's going on in their own areas of the world or in the world for them, and it's something that's kind of happening that a lot of people don't really know about. So I'm here to kind of share about that. When I come across something that is of cultures that I care for, even if I don't fully know about them, I mean, this type of content, it's not just content. I mean, it's actually like live events, and I don't know if they're considered ceremonial. I don't know if it's just a competition. I don't know if it's got spiritual significance. I don't really know, but I do know that I found it, especially when it comes to bird singing, I really like that, like with the shakers and the chants. Like, when I can't sleep, that is some of the best type of something that I could put on to listen to, and I came across that through powwows. And there's something about just watching them, listening to them, putting in some headphones and just listening and watching the people dance. I've watched some tutorials on how to like do some of the dancing, and I've tried it, and it is very athletic and it's very interesting. I learned a lot about the regalia. It's just really interesting. And there is a pretty steep learning curve. Like, I'm not very connected with groups, so yeah, it's just something to kind of note that it is a cultural event in the United States that's going on, and a lot of people don't even know. I think there will still be powwows hosted on powwows.com, but Gathering of Nations are like the big ones. They're like, even though the other ones are big too, but to me they are, but these other ones, they're like bigger. They're like huge, like arenas and stuff, and like conferences and stuff. I think Navajo Man and Lakota Bay, their YouTube channel, I think they went to one and they kind of did some vlogging, and yeah, they're really cool events. I've never been able to go to one, like a Gathering of Nations big one, but they do have them at Cal State Dominguez Hills once a year. They have them at El Camino College once a year. I think they have them out in Sequan, maybe a couple places out San Diego direction, a couple places, IE areas, but a lot of major colleges have them sometimes too. But yeah, It's kind of a bummer if these are the last ones, but I'm gonna watch it in a bit.